Hey guys, what's going on? Um, Doing a different kind of video here, but I wanted to catch it now while the feelings were still kind of fresh. I'm just trying to find a good spot to film. I'm outside, I'm trying to let the baby sleep. So, and I'll hopefully it comes in loud enough. But basically, as the title would suggest, I'm done going to KFC. I'm done with that company. And you know what? I've dealt with their crap and their shenanigans for years, but this to me, it hit every wrong note humanly possible. And for those of you who follow me on Facebook, you probably know this more than what I'm letting on now, but um, I'll pretty much break it down. Basically, I'm kind of, again, trying to find some shots here, but I'm also getting people who want to come up and interrupt, so I'm just going for a walk and you're coming with me. So basically, here's what happened. Me, the missus, we decided we were going to grab something to eat. Sometimes when we both work late and our daughter is at her parents' house, we'll usually stop somewhere to get something to eat, mainly because it's easy. It's just easier. So we go to KFC because that's what she wanted. I was also running late, so I let her pick what she wanted to pick. And so we get up there, and if you're familiar with their menu, they offer a $9.90 or like it's like a $9.90 something or like $9.29 for like a big bucket of their flavored tender or piece meals, like you've seen it, like the smoked mountain barbecue and the more popular the Georgia Gold honey barbecue sauce. So we order that, no problem, and we get up to the counter, and she gives me the total and says it was over $30 for two big box meals. These came out to roughly they were just under $10 each before tax. And I said $30 each, that can't be right. The menu says that they're not even 10 before tax. So like, I'm not a math genius, but I've worked in retail and food service long enough to understand that that's not correct. So um so she then decides that she wants to argue with me in a very insulting tone, like the kind of tone someone tries to talk to you in when they definitely want to make you feel like you do not know more than they do. And I'm like, $30? No, it's $10 a meal. And she goes, oh yeah, but there's like an extra $3 charge to put sauce on it. Let that sink in for a minute. The meals that they advertise, that they openly advertise, the Georgia Honey Gold, the Smoky Mountain barbecue, and they have like a spicy one, they will actually charge you, according to this lady, they wanted to charge me an extra $3 per order for sauce. Let me break something down for you. My first job was working in a pizza restaurant that was over 12 years ago. Okay? I know for a fact that large jug of sauce that they have, there ain't no way I'm going to probably put enough into that for them to probably order like another one. Yes, I know the large jugs are expensive, but $3 a meal for two people, so that was an extra $6. But there's still like another $5-6 unaccounted for, and then she's saying, oh well, there's tax, and one of you substituted one side for something else. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then she started giving me the tone again. Like, well, no, it's on there. We advertise it. And I hear her talking to someone in back, like, oh, is that how it is in the system? Like, she didn't even know what she was doing. So I look in the back seat. My wife is not happy, and I'm like, so are we getting this or not? Because I was kind of in the boat where I didn't want to do it, but I also realized that I have I had myself, my wife, and the baby in the car, and two of us were very hangry. So I realized it was a no-win situation at that point, but I ultimately wanted Sarah to make the final call, and she's like, "No, I'm not." So we then left. I was holding the card in my hand because they didn't even give me my total prior to driving up to the window. That's what's shady about this whole thing. They didn't even give me total, and they do this multiple times. I don't know if this is some kind of shady, nefarious practice they do where they maybe try to like hide in some extra costs so they can boost their sales. It's pathetic. That's what it is, because that means they'd have to do it to almost every person that goes through, or someone very unsuspecting. Now we weren't being difficult. We weren't being rude. I am one of the most unassuming, very non-aggressive people. I just want to get my food and go home. I'm not looking to start an argument with anyone. I'm not looking to get into any fights. But this to me felt like all she wanted to do was argue. And all I'm pointing out to her was, no, that's not what you have on your sign in the drive-thru. There's nothing on there that says a $3 extra charge. There's nothing on there that says that. And the worst part is we've gotten this multiple times from them, and we've never had this problem. That's the thing that bothers me the most. We've never had this problem. So it's like they've been doing it wrong this whole time for several months now, for longer than that. Because they were doing this, look, we were doing this probably right before the baby was born, almost, I want to say. Over 9 months ago. So, nearly 9 months, we haven't had this problem until tonight. And then they tell me to pull up because KFC doesn't like asking you. KFC doesn't like asking or telling you what your total is. Why? Because probably they want to wait till you get up there because they figure you've already had to fish out your wallet or your purse. And they figure when you get up there, you give them the cost. They're probably like, well, they don't want to argue. They just want to pay for it and go. And luckily, my wife was like, no, I'm not paying for it. So they have $30 of food that they are probably going to have to try to sell off to someone else or likely shrink. I'm really hoping they have to shrink it. So yeah. And then she's arguing with me. And she just gave me this extremely, very rude look as I'm like, no, that's not what I'm not going to pay an extra $10. There's no reason to pay an extra $10 for this order when I've never had to do it. Never had to do it. I'm fully aware that when I go there, we get our food, we're going to be paying between $20 and $25. I'm fully aware of this, and I'm okay with that. But to be paying between $30 and $35 because now they want to start implementing some rule that it's not visible to the eye. So I'm done with them. And this isn't the first time I've had problems at this particular location. Over a year ago, we had issues with that same location. And then it all kind of culminated one night when we came home, and our food wasn't even warm. It wasn't like room temperature. It wasn't lukewarm. It wasn't even warm. It was like barely getting warm, meaning that whoever was preparing it was an idiot or they weren't paying attention. And then I said, I'm done. I'm not going back to this location ever again, because the 2 times prior, I was literally stuck in a line with a broken intercom, and they were taking orders at the window. So I decided, okay, no problem. What do I do now? Well, I'll wait. So we wait about 6-7 months. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This was like almost 2 years ago. Yeah, almost 2 years ago this happened. It was much longer than a year ago. But some time passed. We went back. Everything was getting better. And then we noticed that things started to go bad. They were forgetting things in our order. Again, it happens. Things get busy. I understand. Then it was the constantly having to wait for our order. So we would then have to wait in the drive-thru for about 5-10 minutes, and then we'd have to wait on the side of the building for another 10 to 15 minutes. And which confuses me because usually when we have to wait, there's only like one car in front of us. So I'm just confused as to why we always had to wait. So, and then just the people there, I've always had a problem with. They never take their job seriously. It feels like almost every time I go there, they're more focused on wanting to goof around with each other. Actually, there was one time that I went there. This was around the first series of events that happened, where the person couldn't even get her order the first time because she was too busy laughing over the intercom with one of her male coworkers. So I pulled up to the window, and all I said was, "It sounds like you guys are having a pretty good night. Hopefully no one yells at you for goofing around too much." And all she could do was be like, "Oh, it's no big deal. We're just messing around having fun. People should be happy that we're goofing around at a job this bad." Well, sweetheart, I didn't tell you to pick this job, and you could very easily move your ass on out and get another job. I'm sick and tired of this mentality that just because you work in fast food, that somehow means you're better than everyone else because you have to deal with a shitty job. I get it. It's a crappy job, and I apologize for the language. But I shouldn't have to go through a drive-through, wait almost half an hour to get my order taken just to be told that there's nothing there. I shouldn't have to go through a drive-through and deal with people who are not properly trained, people who do not take their jobs seriously, and very short-tempered, rude people who are going to lie to me when I get up there to order, or not even flat out tell me how much it is overall. Because I'm pretty sure if it happened right at the drive-through box, I would have been like, "That's not what's marked out here." So there's some nefarious practices going on at KFC. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if it's some big, huge scheme, but a $10 addition to that makes no sense. And $3 charge for putting sauce on chicken tenders is ridiculous. Never. I've worked in food long enough to know this. It doesn't cost that much to put sauce on chicken. As a matter of fact, majority of places do it for free. Hell, even Chick-fil-A gives you free sauce. So please explain to me why I'm paying you $3 extra per meal just so you could put barbecue sauce on chicken. You literally have a Chick-fil-A 2 buildings away, and you probably are wondering why your business is doing terribly. So that's it. I'm done. I'm done with them. I wanted to go outside and get this while my emotions were still running high. The missus is still pretty pissed off. I'm pretty pissed off with them. I'm going to be contacting them. There's several other stores as well as someone at their main office about this because this isn't right. This isn't right. People who work in the business should take their job more seriously, and I don't deserve to be talked down to like I'm an idiot when there's no reason for me to have to pay an extra $10 charge on there simply because she didn't know what she was doing or because they're trying to get extra money. So next time you go out to eat, just pay attention to what you're doing, because the next time someone else is pulling this, you have a right to know what's going on, and you have every right to not having to pay bullshit costs. So that's going to do it for me. I'm going to head back inside. It's like 10 degrees out here, and I'm freezing. So I'll see you later.